All right, it is 1 o'clock. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Otto's Grotto, all things geeky and unique, featuring 3 Men in the Basement. I am Otto. This is my grotto, and out of the grotto, we have a little show called 3 Men in the Basement, where we do bi-monthly, where I get me and my two buddies, the executive producer Birdie 1869, Mr. Roger Levesque at Roger Levesque at Instagram, and we run a little 3 Men in the Basement show. We talk about comics, geek culture, hot comic books, things are on the slide, comic book speculation, all that fun stuff. We're actually going to do one this Friday. Hopefully around 9 o'clock. So if you're on YouTube, jump on, give us a share, follow us on Instagram. Let's do all that stuff, all right? So it is Memorial Day, and I want to say a huge shout out to all our men and service women. So from 3 Men in the Basement, thank you very much for your service, and I understand that freedom is not free. And I knew we have a few guys that serve, that watch, that follow me on Instagram, so huge shout out to Captain America, huge shout out to I Am an Effing Renegade. I also want to give Sergeant Shred a shout out because I know he's actually still a recruiter in the reserves, and I think I Am an Effing Renegade is too. And also to my brother-in-law, Bill Bromans. Thank you very much for serving. So usually on Memorial Day, I like to do this workout called Murph. Murph is a named hero WOD in the CrossFit world, and it's an awful workout. And it actually stems from Mike Murphy, who was killed in Afghanistan in 2005. He was part of the Lone Wolf. Lone Survivor movie that Mark Wahlberg played Marcus Luttrell, the only one who survived. And Mike Murphy was played by Taylor Klitskin. He did a great job. But let's talk about the workout. The workout was a 1 mile run with a 25-pound weighted vest. Then it was 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then another mile run with that weighted vest if you were doing it RX. Scaled, you could do it however you wanted it. 2 years in a row, I'll be honest with you, I had to do a lot of banded pull-ups. I did the 1 mile run both times without the vest at 285 pounds at the time where I was. I don't need a vest to keep this train moving. So I remember doing it both times, and my times were, the second time I did it, I was like minus a minute and a half. So I did put in a lot of work at Bionic CrossFit. And there was a lot of my Bionic CrossFit family out there working it, doing this workout. And the owner, Chris Vassar, did a great job organizing Murph. So I'm not doing it this year, but hopefully you'll see me again there next year. And so this is the Murph shirt for the 2014 workout. So I have lots of comic books that I want to talk about. I have 10 to 12 books that I want to send out to CGC. And I want to talk about what I think they'll come back at, what I'll be disappointed at, and what I'll be surprised if it comes back any higher than that. Right now, if you're on Instagram or eBay or YouTube, you'll see that the FF48 book is it's skyrocketing. It's skyrocketing in price, 3.5s, 4.5s, going for over $1,000 because of all the Marvel and Fantastic Four news and stuff like that. And let's face it, it's a double first appearance of Galactus and Silver Surfer. So this book is only going up and up. So I do have it. I've had it for quite a few years. I bought it off a friend of mine. And funny story about this book is it's a little bit beat up, so I wrote down, if it comes back at 3.5, I'm happy. Anything less than 3.5, I'm disappointed. If it comes back a 4 to 4.5, I'm very happy. This book I bought from a friend of mine. He brought it to my restaurant. I was leaving. I had all stuff in my hands. I put it on top of my car and I drive off. And I drive onto a busy road in our town. And I realized I just left this book and other books flying across a parking lot in a busy restaurant. So I immediately stopped. Actually, I was going to have a panic attack because I still hadn't paid for the books yet. And as I was doing it, it was a 4-lane road, cars going north and south, and I'm running back and forth trying to save my comic books before an 18-wheeler runs over. So I definitely think this book was ran over by an 18-wheeler, and that's okay because it survived. So with the press and some good handling, I'm hoping for a 3.5. Fantastic Four, 48. If you have 48, then you probably should have 49. This book is in a little bit of better shape, and it was part of that run that I bought. And I'm hoping 4.5 on this book. 4.5 is a great number for this book. And if it comes back a 3.5, I'm disappointed. If it comes back 5, I'm very happy. A lot of my older Silver Age books, I've been looking at grades of 5 for. Not number 1s, because those really I can't afford, except for my Daredevil number 1. But key Silver Age first appearances, I think 5 is a good investing number. And I'm going to talk about that in a little while. I know 5s and also 7s for some other books, but I'll talk about that investing number at the end of my comic book run. So hoping this comes back. I'm hoping this comes back 4.5. And I do have 50, okay, FF50. Book has seen better days. What really the hard problem with this book is it's a dark cover. You can see it's kind of charcoal, so things are going to show up on that a lot. I'm hoping this book comes back a solid 5. If this book comes back a 4, I'm unhappy. 4.5, it's a push, all right? It's a push. I'll take it. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, that's what I'm thinking for this book. Okay, so these 3 are a definite. Okay, these things are definitely going to get sent out to my good friend Chris Shaver. He does all pressing. Follow him on CS Shaver on Instagram. It's also got some great raffles going on right now, so check that out. Now I'm going to get into another book, X-Men number 2. All right, this book I bought maybe when I first got into collecting again 4 years ago, and I got a good price on it, but it came back and it almost looked like it was water damage. So I did have my buddy press it once, and that was a long time ago, and I want to see what this comes back at. My X-Men 1 is a 3.5, and I'm what they call a linear comic collector. I like certain grades, certain books to be certain grades to match other ones. X-Men number 2, I don't need it to be a high-grade book. Would I like it to be a high-grade book? Would I like it in 7 and 8.5s? No. My bank account doesn't afford it. I'm not that kind of collector. If this comes back, you know what though? When I had this pressed, people always said that sometimes the waves come back from the pressing, and I definitely think that this has happened with this book. So I'm going to have it repressed, and my buddy Bernie 1869 says he thinks there's some like discoloration where somebody used like a pencil or something. I don't know if it comes back of the other label. I don't know what I'll say. I mean, oh well, I guess, you know. But yeah, so 3.5 with this book, 2.5 I'm disappointed, 4 to 5 I'm really, really happy. All right. Now this is a great book. This is a fun, awesome book. This is Wonder Woman 160, one of my oldest books. This book's in great shape. So I'm trying to, as a product of the 80s, I'm a huge Super Friends fan, and the Super Friends, their villains were the Legion of Doom, and they are absolutely fantastic. So in this past year and a half, my boy Nemesis Prime and Bernie 1869, we've all been trying to get these first appearances. Don't have to be in high grades. You know, obviously, first Brainiac, you know, at an 8, I love it. Can I afford a 3.5? Yes. First Captain Cold, same thing for that. I do have Grodd. I do have Bizarro. I have some other ones. But anyway, this book, I was hunting on eBay and I actually put it on notifications. And this book, I was hoping for around the 5.5. And there was a nice one, and I hem and hawed with it, and sure enough, somebody scooped it up. So this guy had a buy it now of like $275 with a starting bid of $175, and it didn't sell. So I fired him back, and I said, "Hey, dude, how about $200? Buy it now." He bid on it. I'm excited. This book, I think 7.5. I'm almost thinking 8. What did I write down? I did this a while ago. Yeah, I'm almost thinking 8 on this book. I'm disappointed at a 7. Yeah, I actually have 8.5. So I'd love for this book to come back high grade. The more I have this cover, the more I look at it, the more and more I appreciate it. Golden Age Wonder Woman, Golden Age characters, Cheetah, purple cover, and just a very, very cool book. Also, Dr. Psycho in it. Great Golden Age stuff. All right. Now, moving on. Another book that is speculative, and it's been speculative for a while, and I think it's going to be speculative for even longer. So there's a lot of speculation on this book, and that is Avengers number 8, the first appearance of Kang the Conqueror, the time-traveling conqueror Kang. Is he the next Marvel villain? Is Galactus? Is Doom? I don't know. I think if you were to rank him, this would probably be on the bottom ends of the priority list. Do I think that Thanos absolutely blew it out? Yes, but it took 10 years to get Thanos to where he is right now, where he's the hottest villain. And if you listen to my shows, you know how I felt about Thanos and the good things and the not so good things that I think they've done with this character. So this is first appearance Kang, white cover, Jack Kirby, Stan Lee book. And this book is nice, but again, it's in a Mylar. I'm thinking for a book like this, it's got a little crease. It's got a little bit of chipping on top, but corners look tight. Colors, not a lot of color breaks. I think if Chris does some good work, I think I might be able to get a 7, 7.5 on this book. All right. I think that would be a fun grade to get for that. And if I ever want to upgrade it, I'll be able to, you know, so that is good. So what did I write for Avengers? 7.5 to 8. Disappointed with a 7, okay? So I'm definitely disappointed if it comes back around the 7. All right. Now, this is a little kick that I've been on because I watched AF-15 and Amazing Spider-Man 1 just go up, and I'm not talking about $50, $100. I'm talking about $1,000 to $2,000, $4,000 at a clip. Not an expert, please. Don't quote me as an expert. I remember, though, 3.5 years when I started buying again, I could get an ASM1 3.5 for four, depending, $3.5 to $4,000. Okay, reasonable. AF-15s were somewhere around 7 and 8s. And then within the past 4 years, man, these books have shot up. I've seen 1.5s for AF-15s going for 10, 12K. Lots of 3.5s are going for no less than 7s, $7,000. So if you guys bought that book and you're sitting on that book, congratulations to you. If you have it in higher grades, God bless, because this is a book I definitely missed the boat on. And with the Marvel and the way he did it, and Tom Holland and the new Spider-Man and the way they brought him up, he's really hitting all different age brackets. He's hitting their teens, he's hitting their 20s, the guys in their 30s, guys in their 50s, 40s like me, who are really fans of Spider-Man. And the way this Spider-Man, even before Iron Spider-Man, before that, it was very Steve Ditko to me. Okay, and I'm a huge fan of early Steve Ditko Spider-Man. All right, so going with that, I have an Amazing Spider-Man 46, who's a very underrated villain, but a villain I liked a lot. This is the first appearance of Shocker. I've been sitting on this book for a while. I had this book before. I don't know. I think I sold some of my collection back in my high school days. I don't remember. So, but I'm hoping this book comes back a 7, a 7.5, maybe an 8, even better. Disappointed with a 6.5. So Spider-Man rogues are definitely going up and up, and I think that's a way to go if you're into comic book investing and or like collecting. Okay, so we have another first appearance, Amazing Spider-Man 15, the first appearance of Kraven, and I am very shocked that they're putting Mysterio up before Kraven. Okay, I'm very shocked. I always thought that Kraven would be easier to do. He's not as abstract as Mysterio is, so definitely excited, and to say that they're eventually going to have Kraven, so that's good. I put down that I'd like this book to come back at a 5.5 to 6, 4.5, and I'm disappointed. All right, so yeah, Mysterio, get that book. Great white cover. I have a raw. It's got that ink pen on it. You know what I mean? But definitely a good book, and I'm interested to see how they do Mysterio, if they do him justice. All right, so done with that book. Next book I have is the big premiere issues, one of the number ones, Iron Man #1. All right, bought this book raw at a collection on a Sunday. So you talk about the art of the deal. He had this in Captain America 1. I got to the show late. Didn't really see anything that I wanted to buy. And I saw these two books at quite a bit of money. I looked in my pocket. I felt like, what was I willing to spend? So he was traveling. He still had these books. And that's a good thing about going to shows on Sundays. I think guys want to move their stuff. If they don't, they're just sitting on their books. And they're not really comic book vendors. They're just like comic book hoarders who want to show them off. So, yes, so I've got a great price on this book. Had it pressed already, but I'm definitely going to have it pressed again. I'm hoping it comes back a 5.5 to 6.5. 5.5, I'm disappointed. 6.5, happy. 7 is good. 7 would be a great number for this book to display it. So Iron Man 1, I think they retell the origin. Just a great book. We've seen it on T-shirts. We've seen it everywhere. Just a great #1 to have, along with the Captain America #1, Silver Surfer #1. And I think they all have the big premiere issue on it. So that's something to look out for, something Marvel did back then. Now, we have a book that might be on the chopping block, depending, because this is something else that I've been trying to do, and that's Strange Tales 180. The first, not first full appearance, but the first appearance of Gamora. And she only appeared in 2 panels. So I don't know what this book is, where it's going to go. Is Gamora a great character? She absolutely is. And, I think she has like staying power in the Marvel Universe. I think this book is going to come back a 7.5 to 8. Disappointed with it at a 7. All right. So, yeah. Then I have the next one, my Teen Titans #2. This is the 3rd copy I have of this. Bought this one raw. You know what? I was a bad comic handler, and I let it sit wrong overnight, and I can feel the dings in the side now that weren't there when I initially bought it. So I was very lucky. I won a 9/6 raffle for $20 from Girls Like Comics on Instagram. So that's coming from Canada, so it takes a little bit longer. If this book comes back a 9/2 or 9/4, I'm excited because then I get the 9/6. Obviously, a 9/8 would be great, but I'm having a hard time shelling out that money to somebody on eBay for a 9.8. If I could trade, if I could buy up or something like that for the 9.8, I definitely will. I'm not about paying the full boat on YouTube. All right. Now we have these books that I've been sitting on for a long time too. The New Mutants 98. All right. Hoping high grade for this, 9.6, 9.4. 9.8 comes back, I'm happy. Disappointed in anything less than 9.2, okay? And if you have this one, you should have this one. All right, New Mutants 87. Great book, Cable. First appearance, classy, looks good. Colors are popping. Spine feels good. 9.6, 9.8, it's got to come back. Anything less, I'm really, really disappointed. So that's really all I wanted to do. Take 20 minutes to show you some books that I'm going to send out. Timetable, probably pack these up this week, get them to Chris in 2 weeks. As long as he wants to take, I don't care. I'm not in a hurry. Summer's kind of busy. I don't really want to just sit there and wait for these comics, especially with CGC has all their shows. CGC is at quite a bit of shows right now. It's that season. So I'm going to take my time. If they come back by September, I'm happy. So look out for 3 Men in a Basement this Friday night, probably around 9 o'clock. Probably going to talk Deadpool. We're going to talk Solo. I did see it yesterday. I don't know if my other two brothers have yet, but we'll have to see. Some other stuff that's coming out, some expectations, some TV shows. So I am Otto. This is my grotto, and this has been 3 Men in a Basement. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.